Welcome to Health Fit, the healthy lifestyle show. Today's episode is called After the Burn. As you may recall, last time we talked about how to prepare before a workout with a proper warm-up and nutrition to energize our bodies. Today we will look at ways to relieve soreness and how to maximize our results from a workout with food and nutrition. Then Mika will tell us more about endorphins and what happens in our brains that makes us feel so good. Finally, we will continue our topic on soreness with an interview which will tell us more about what happens in the body when our muscles are sore and how to best recover. Hey there! Today we'll look at an alternative form for a cool down after working out using a foam roller. If you haven't seen one of these guys before, this is what it looks like. Voila! They usually come in various shapes and sizes, which makes some more comfortable than others. Foam rolling is especially useful if you are sore because it provides a deep tissue massage to tender muscles and increases blood flow. This is also known as myofascial release. One of the best parts of foam rolling is that you can do it on your own. Apart from soreness or tenderness, you can target tight knots in your muscle too by applying pressure with the foam roller. Similar to stretching, the feeling during myofascial release may be uncomfortable or even painful, but once you are done applying pressure, you should feel relief and your muscles will have recovered quicker so that they can continue working up to their full capacity. Let's take a look at different movements you can do using a foam roller for different muscle groups. Let's get started. We're gonna take it down to the floor and start with a hamstring stretch or roll. So we're gonna place the foam roller under your hamstring. We're gonna roll forward and back, forward and back. All right, good. Then we're gonna go ahead and switch. We're gonna roll again, forward, back, forward, back. Very good. Let's take it down to our calf this time. I know you'd be surprised you can actually stretch or roll on your calf as well. So we're gonna move forward and back, forward, back. Let's go ahead and switch sides. One more time. Should feel pretty good. Like I said, it might hurt a little, but it is worth it. Pain is gain, huh? All right, let's go ahead and move it to our glutes. So you can go ahead and sit down. In this case, you can put one leg on the knee. And again, just roll. This time, you don't have to roll too far out just because the glutes are shorter than the hamstrings, for instance. Switching legs, keep rolling. You might feel it on one side more depending on which leg is raised. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and try and roll on our lats. This is really good for your back, especially if you've been exercising your back. It might seem a little different, but right here, you're gonna place it under the lats. You're just gonna roll forward and back again. You don't want it to be on your rib cage. You want it more towards the back. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Again, making sure it's in the proper location. You're gonna roll back and forth. Good. All right, let's look at two more stretches or rolls for your legs. So let's go ahead and roll on our iliotibial band. This is very commonly a very tight spot, especially for women. So the iliotibial band runs along the side of your thigh. And so we place the foam roller on the side. Let's go ahead and switch. Again, right here on the side. Our foot is in front of the other one. The non-rolling foot is in front of the rolling one. There we go. Very nice. And let's go ahead and finish up with a quad roll. This one might feel a little weird. You're gonna place it on your quad. You're gonna roll right here. Good. And again, let's go ahead and switch sides. All right, and that is it for today. The foam roller is a great piece of equipment for instant relief, but it can be a bit bulky for certain parts of the body. Therefore, for more precise knots and areas of the upper body, I would suggest using a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, or a peanut foam roller. I hope today's exercise segment was useful and you find yourself foam rolling very soon. Hey there, this is Health Fit Kitchen. I know that in the past we've shared plenty of post-workout smoothie recipes with you, and there are only so many ways you can make a smoothie, especially if you have a very particular taste. However, before we make yet another post-workout smoothie, let's talk about why I picked these ingredients and how they help maximize your results after working out. Eating enough protein for the amount of muscle mass your body has is essential to keeping that muscle mass and allowing it to grow. You should try and eat between 0.5 to 1.7 grams of protein per pound of body mass, depending on how active you are. Protein intake is vital after working out because our muscles need to replenish and recover by absorbing all essential amino acids provided in protein. Furthermore, protein is the building block of muscle, and so it helps the growth of muscle. Carbohydrates are equally important for muscle recovery after working out because they replenish glycogen stores and feed the muscles so they may continue to function properly instead of breaking down. However, not every carb is created equal, and so post-workout we want to consume fast-acting carbs such as fruits, fruit juice, or rice. Fat doesn't do much for our bodies in relevance to recovery. In fact, since it does take a long time for fat to be digested and absorbed by our bodies, it's not a good first option for a post-workout snack. The key to a productive recovery is for it to happen as soon as possible. So let's look at the smoothie recipe and determine why it's a good post-workout snack option. First of all, I'm going to start by pointing out that we have our protein right here in the form of chocolate protein, because essentially what we're going to be making is a chocolate, peanut butter, strawberry banana smoothie, which is probably one of my favorites. Next up, we have a runner-up to our protein, which is PB Fit. And if you know me, if you've been watching the show, you know I love my PB Fit. Next up, we have our carbs. So we got a banana, we got some strawberries, and you may notice we also have some carrots. Yes, that is right. We're going to be putting carrots in our chocolate, peanut butter, strawberry banana smoothie. You might be surprised that actually it does not taste bad and you will barely be able to taste a carrot. Another good substitute to a carrot might be spinach, so it's definitely fun to experiment. Next up, we have some flaxseed, which is gonna help you with digestion because it has some fiber and of course it has some carbs in it. We have our healthy nuts over here, a little bit of walnuts, some stevia for sweetness, our almond milk, and we have some flavor over here. So we got some vanilla and some maple extract. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the making of our smoothie, and I'll let you know how good it tastes. Look at that, beautiful bowl of strawberries. Crew really tried on this one. All right, so you can put in as many as you want. I used a whole banana. You can try and use half of a banana, whatever you like. Not gonna use all the carrots, I'm just gonna put a couple in there. Another good thing carrots are good for is vitamin E, and vitamin E is helpful for our skin. So I'm gonna go with our liquid before putting in the powders. Let's go with 1 cup of almond milk, almost. And right at 1, wow, look at that. I can sense when the measurement is correct at this point. I've made this so many times. All right, I got a protein in there, most important part. I'm not gonna put all the flaxseed because a little bit goes a far way. I'm gonna put some walnuts in there. I actually really like the texture nuts give it because when it's just a smoothie, it's too much like water, too liquidy. I like a little bit of texture, a little bit of a crunch. So this is 1 teaspoon of stevia. You can add more or less, whatever you like. Let's add our flavors. So a little bit of vanilla. I try to eye it. Sometimes I go overboard, but you know what? I don't think I've ever had too much vanilla, to be honest. A little bit of maple extract, just a couple drops or 4. All right, let's shake it up. It looks pretty good to me. Now, of course, if it is too thick for your taste, you can always add more almond milk. Ooh, perfect, perfect consistency. All right, smells like chocolate and peanut butter, surprise. Let's give it a try. I think I could eat this all day for real, but thank you so much for watching and we'll see you soon after Mika.
Hey there, this is Active Updates with Mika and I'm here today with some great information about what happens in your brain when you exercise. We've already talked about what working out does to your body and how you can recover best with good quality nutrients. But have you ever heard about the benefits of exercise for your mind? Well, hang in there because I'm about to tell you all about it. But first, I want you to think about the last time you worked out. You probably struggled a little and you probably felt like quitting when your muscles started to burn. But when you overcame the challenge and pushed through it until the end, how did it make you feel? If exhilarated or blissful describe it, then you were probably experiencing what's called a runner's high. And if you've experienced this state of mind, then you'll know exactly why it's called that. The runner's high is a state of euphoria that is achieved when you exercise for a prolonged period of time. People who are new to exercise, this could be as short as 20 or 30 minutes. This feel-good rush of positivity is caused by chemicals called endorphins, which block neurotransmitters that cause pain. Besides pain, these chemicals are also released in response to stress. Since strenuous exercise puts both stress on your body and can be perceived as painful, the endorphins are programmed to step in and reduce the discomfort associated with those things. When you finish exercising, the pain is no longer there, but the endorphins do not cease immediately, which is why you get a prolonged feeling of happiness and well-being. You may be surprised to learn that in addition to the short-term effects that endorphins have on your brain, regular exercise also benefits your mental health long-term. In fact, there's a ton of research that has proved a link between regular exercise and decreased levels of depression. And in addition to better emotional health, studies published in the Journal of Health Psychology and the International Journal of Sports Medicine have confirmed positive effects of exercise on both mood and cognitive function. So not only does exercise make you feel good and look good, but it makes you smarter too. Many students feel like adding exercise to their busy schedule will ruin their grades, but quite the opposite is actually true. Exercise has been shown to improve study skills, enhance sleep, and increase your level of discipline in many different areas of life. So if your workload is what's holding you back from exercise, try waking up 30 minutes or an hour early and get moving. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish after a good workout. If, on the other hand, you're already in a habit of exercising on a regular basis, you may have a harder time obtaining a runner's high because you're used to the feeling. However, this doesn't mean you're not reaping the emotional and intellectual benefits of exercise. So no matter who you are, embracing an active lifestyle is bound to improve your mood and increase productivity. Thanks for tuning in today. This has been Active Updates with Mika. See you next time. Stay active.
Welcome back. In relation to our exercise segment today, let's look at what soreness is exactly and how we can possibly work with our bodies to relieve it or prevent it. Today's guest is a personal trainer at the Rec Center of MTSU and will share a little bit of his experience in fitness and knowledge on muscle fatigue. Let's welcome Nick McDonald.
Hi.
Hey Nick, great to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm outstanding. Thank you so much for asking. So let's go ahead and get started with a simple question about your background in fitness and who are you exactly?
So, my background in fitness, I was in the military and I was a PTL, and that kind of spurred my love for helping people with squadron PT and just big group PT and just helping people, and kind of spun into something bigger.
Before the military, were you active then, or was it really the military that started your active lifestyle?
I was always active. I guess when I started weight training was back in junior high. I played football, and our coach had us doing like the major lifts like squat, power clean, bench, and just that kind of spurred and evolved from there.
Okay, and so now fast forward a little bit past the military, what continues to inspire you to personal train and work with people to help them achieve their goals?
I think it's just all aspects of it. I enjoy helping individuals, and it really doesn't matter if it's more or less just weights, a listening ear, somebody that can listen to them about, like, because a lot of times when people need personal training, they're self-conscious about themselves. So anything like that, or a spot on a squat.
And they also need a friend sometimes. It's
Yes.
as simple as that. That's very true. So tell us a little bit more about muscle soreness and how that relates to weight training. And I assume weight training is probably your favorite activity. You kind of touched up on that earlier.
It's definitely my favorite way to stay active. I do kind of like a hypertrophy workout. That's like a regular bodybuilding workout, 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets.
That probably makes you sore.
It definitely does, and that's the kind of workout I do. I do minimal cardio, but I do enough cardio so that my cardiovascular, it's still good, and I have to do a PT test every year for the military as well, so I have to do my 1.5 miles for that. So
Mandatory.
it is mandatory.
Okay, so tell us now, let's really hit up that subject of muscle soreness. And what exactly is muscle soreness? What happens in the muscle that makes us feel that way, that sore feeling?
So essentially, muscle soreness is micro tears in the muscle. And depending upon how hard you work out, is going to depend on how sore you are, or how novice of a fitness person you are. It could really vary. It could be 1 to 2 days, 3 days. It could be nothing because maybe you didn't push yourself as hard as you can. But as long as you're pushing yourself every time you work out, usually you're going to be sore after the fact.
So does it matter whether you're a beginner or maybe a professional athlete? I mean, that's something that occurs with everyone?
I feel it does. I mean, I've been working out for a while now, and I feel like I am experienced, and I still get sore because I try to push myself to the limit. If you're breaking over a plateau, or you're even making yourself sore while you're working out, you're going to be sore after the fact.
So what are some ways that we can cure that soreness after it's already happened?
So after it's already happened, a lot of times you're just gonna have to play it out, but you can take, you can take anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, stretching, doing something called PNF stretching, where you're doing like a kind of release with an individual helping you, stretching the leg, or you could do self-myofascial release, where you're pushing on pressure points.
Okay, do you think that continuing to be active or light exercise helps relieve soreness? Of course, lighter exercise than what you've been doing.
I feel like it does, but there is that good median between what is light activity and what's going to push yourself to the extreme where you're going to injure yourself, and nobody has time for that.
Right. Nobody wants that, and that's definitely something we want to avoid. So what about before you actually become sore? What are some ways that we can prevent that?
So to prevent muscle soreness as much as you can, just the basics of exercise, a good warm-up, Make sure that you're really warming up the muscles that you're going to use in your workout. And then your workout, of course, and focusing on those muscles. And then after you work out, your cool down and stretching to make sure that you're doing adequate amount of 5 to 10 warm up, 5 to 10 cool down, and really stretching those muscles like you were doing sets for your actual exercise.
Yeah, okay. What about heat or maybe temperature? Is there something we can use to relieve muscle soreness in that sense?
You can definitely use heat. It might not necessarily help, but it's going to feel better.
Yes.
And a lot of times with soreness, we're happy that we're sore because maybe we just hit a new PR in squats, but the pressure of heat will help. Maybe like a hot shower. Any of those things will definitely help feel it. Maybe stretching it out in the shower, loosening those muscles, because your muscles, when you're stretching, it's kind of like a rubber band. So that warming temperature is gonna help that expand. You don't want to stretch a cold rubber band.
Right, and that's why we should do static stretching after we've worked out because our bodies are warm.
Yes.
Yes, makes sense. Okay, so this is our final question. We would like to know, what would you recommend or suggest to anyone who's a beginner and wants to make a change in their lifestyle by becoming more active or more health conscious, but they don't really know where to start? So what would you say is a good first step to making that new healthy habit?
So to me, I think that the first step is do some research.
Okay.
You see so many people that they go into the gym not knowing anything, and those are the people that injure themselves. Those are the people that you see on gym fails because they're doing some craziness.
Yes, unfortunately.
Do some research. Next, talk to somebody that's more fit than you.
Okay.
Everybody knows that they have that friend that is in the gym. Everybody has that friend.
Yes.
Ask them questions or her questions, because any knowledge is good knowledge.
Yes.
And thirdly, if you're not getting your research off the internet, the internet is a plethora of information, and just you can find so many things. And then lastly, I would say if you're here at MTSU, come to MTSU's gym. We have all sorts of personal trainers, and the knowledge that we have a lot of ranges of knowledge in that pack. So
that's true. That's true.
Come to us and ask us. The majority of people that I see in the gym know that I'm a personal trainer, so they'll be like, "Hey, what can I do to help my chest growth?" And it's just like somebody talking to another person, and I'll say, "Well, you could do this." But if you want to know more, then let me know, and we can we can set up, where I can do an assessment and potentially help you out.
With reaching those goals,
they might just want to go off on their own, and they just maybe had a question. And like I said earlier, any knowledge is good knowledge.
So it's perfectly okay to ask questions, and you totally should. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned some valuable information from today's interview, and you can apply it to your workouts very soon. Make sure you stay in touch with us on Facebook at The Health Fit Show. I'm Joanna, and we're Health Fit. Stay active.